Easy jar openers. Let's make some easy jar openers today. Never have trouble with a lid again. Deciding on what fabrics to use is always incredibly fun. So I think jar openers would be great in all of these. So let's get at it. And we are going to go ahead and make strips of 6-inch strips. And after we have our 6-inch strips, we're going to cut them down further into 6-inch squares. So I happen to have a 6-inch by 24-inch ruler, and I have double layer of my strip here. And we're going to lay it down, line it up, and continue making our 6-inch square pieces. And I didn't press hard enough. I do have a good blade. Alrighty. All right, we are cutting 6 inches by 6 inches, different pieces of fabric, and we are cutting 6-inch by 6-inch of this wonderful gripper stuff that we can put under legs of chairs, that we can put in our cabinets to have our glasses set on, and we are going to turn them into jar grippers. So I'm very excited today. We are doing a quick, fun project. And my friends, we're making 60 of these. We are making them for craft sales. And my friends, we're taking a 6-inch by 6-inch. We're taking one of the grippers. We're laying them on. If you want, you can go ahead and pin or clip a stack of these ready to go under the sewing machine, but it's right sides together. We're going to simply slide it right up under the sewing machine. And we are going to start sewing about 2 inches from the end. We're going to put our foot down. We're going to lock in that thread. And then simply go all the way around our square. Make sure your needle is down. So if you have that option on your machine, put that needle down. Foot up, pivot, foot down. And now we're back to where we started, so we want to leave about a 2-inch area to open the jar opener. Turn it right sides out. We're going to back stitch right before we stop. Pull out our jar grip. So now we have our jar grip in whole. These are great craft fair sales. And we're going to take the scissors and we're going to knock off each of the corners. And after we do that, we're going to take our fingers at the opening. And I'm going to put my finger all the way to one of the furthest corners. Hold my thumb there, pull it right sides out. And then continue turning the entire jar opener right side out. And once you have it turned right side out, you can use the blunt end of your scissors. Don't open them up to get a point, but keep them blunt. Or you can use a stiletto. And we're going to just gently pop out each of our corners to where we have a point. And we're going to pop out each of our corners. One more to go. Stick our scissors in here. These are so incredibly useful. I cannot tell you how many times I pick up a can, a jar, a bottle, and my hands somehow just don't have the energy left in my wrists anymore to turn. And when I use these grippers, it is absolutely amazing, my friend. These hold on to the jars, and we're going to demonstrate that. But what I want you to do is the next process is take your fingers. We're doing quality control, but we're also pressing down our seams all the way around to where half of the edge is the rubber and half of the edge is our fabric. And then we're going to come over to the opening. We have our 1/4 inch seams pressed inside. Now we're going to put this back in the sewing machine and start at the opening to close that up. And starting right at the opening, we're going to slide this under the machine. Yes, it's got the gripper on it, so it doesn't always want to slide so well. And we're going to lock stitch, and then we're going to go all the way around, about 1/8 of an inch, 3 millimeters around the edge, putting our needle down, turning us around, and making sure that our edges are half fabric and half of the rubber mat. Needle down, foot up, pivot. This is just doing a final touch on our edging. Needle down, hold the threads out. There we go. Last little bit. And lock stitch, pull it out. We're going to get a different pair of scissors and trim it closer. But now what we're going to do is take our material and we're going to draw an X across with our stitches. And that, pretty much the sole purpose on that, my friends, is that when we wash this, everything stays in place. Nobody tries to pull it out and away from where it belongs. And we're going to do our quality control and trimming our threads with a smaller pair of scissors. I like to have 2 different pair of scissors at my sewing machine. At least 2. And one of the pair of scissors are going to be the small scissors. If you have them ovaled out, it's just really nice to be able to get in real close and trim your threads. And that way you're not going to have any visible threading left on your creations that you make. And it's going to have a more quality commercial look to it. So here we go, my friends. We have our beautiful jar opener, and we can make these in all different colors. These are great for the craft fairs, and we are going to do the price check next. So if my plan is to make 80 of these jar openers, we're looking at the grip with it, which is shelf liner, costing approximately $22. If I look at fabric, we're looking at $28 for 2 yards. Fabric is running about $14 a yard now, and I'm using quilter's cotton. And then we look at the cost of thread, about $4, not including my needles, my scissors, my bobbins, my rulers, my time. And my friends, of course, the cost for the craft fair itself, which most craft fairs run between $50 and $300, depending upon where it's at, how long it runs, and of course, if you're looking at a state fair, a strawberry festival, something that lasts 7 days to longer, you are looking at even higher than the $300. So if we add the grip, the fabric, and the thread together, we have $54, and we can make 80 out of this, so that's 68 cents each. And then I like to double the cost to include my time. And then, unfortunately, the booth cost. We don't know what we're going to sell, so we do have to raise that price. So we're looking at $2.50 for each gripper. Now, how do we sell that? We've got to market it as well. But just to let you know how I broke this down, the non-slip grip shelf liner you can get in most home decor stores or different places like Lowe's, Hobby Lobby, Home Depot, Kmart, Walmart, that kind of thing. And it runs approximately $22 for a 12-inch by 20-foot roll. If I need to have 6 inches by 6 inches, I can make 80 out of this. And then, of course, a yard of fabric. If we look at the average, which some of it is 36 by 36, some is 36 by 44. But if we're running it at 36 by 42, I will need the full 2 yards with just a smidge left over. And at $14 a yard today, fabric is costly. So that's where I came up with the $28. So I hope this helps you. And when you're making these, they are so fun, so quick, so wonderful. You can do all the sewing and then go sit in front of the family in the living room and turn these all right side up, trim the edges, and then come back to the sewing machine to do the final outside sewing and the X across. So really, you can break up this project, do it for a craft fair, make stacks and stacks, and I'm just making 60 for a quick one-day fair, in addition to all of my other goodies that we make. Hope this helps. And we're chain stitching them, so as I finish one, I trim it, put it in a stack of all the others that are at the same point. And again, we are mass making for an upcoming craft fair. And what I have on the table today is enough to make 60 of these jar openers. And I plan on getting all of these done between today and tomorrow with additional projects in between. So I'm going to do them all up to this stage. Then I will take them upstairs tonight, where I will trim off the sides, and then I will turn them right side out and bring them back in a whole stack like this for tomorrow to go ahead and sew around them and do my X. So I like to mass make and sell at craft fairs. So much fun. Making jar openers. I am so excited, my friends. We are making jar openers for our upcoming craft fair. Wrists don't want to work? Just use these grippers to open any jar or canister. No more painful wrists. My friends, if you're having trouble opening your jars, these handy handheld grippers are exactly what you need to open any sealed jar or container. Awesome! Now that we have all 80 turned correctly, we get to sew them together. Meaning, we're going to sew around the edges, closing up the seam, and then making our X across the top to keep them tight together. So fill your basket with jar openers, make a nice tag to put on your basket, and you are ready for your craft fair table. Make lots, you'll be selling them.